Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler series videos I would do for the while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I had a shitty night at work. Just so garbagey. So garbagey. But anyway. Folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all of that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside my truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. It's not the case today. This is specifically an item that I picked up about a week ago, and I've been meaning to review it, and it was just like finding the appropriate time. So literally before I went to work, I tossed it in the truck and I'm like, when I get home, I'll review it. Boop-a-doop-a-doo, review for you. Sound good? I think it sounds good. So anyway, what am I trying for you folks? What are we doing here today? This is an interesting one, folks. I'm not gonna lie, because it's boom! Fucking weird. It's Ketchup Cheetos. I think from, I'm guessing, the French part of Canada. So it's Cheetos, leaves, Feuilles? I don't know how to pronounce that at all. Feuilles. Sorry, limited time only. And then it's got, I guess, that in French. Yeah, because, like, with Canada, like, I think pretty much everything has to be in English and then also in French because, you know, obviously they have French Canada, so it's a thing. But apparently it is Ketchup Flavored Cheetos. See? It's Chester Cheeto, but he's wearing a bucket hat with a Canadian fucking flag on it. It is, in fact, apparently dangerously Canadian. Has anything ever been dangerously Canadian? No offense, Canada. You know, many fine things and stuff like that, but, like, I don't think danger when I think Canada. That's not a bad thing. Dangerously Canadian. Celebrate summer with unique maple leaf shapes covered in Canada's iconic ketchup flavor. Warning! Mischievous flavors. For the first time ever, Cheetos leaf snacks have ditched the classic Cheetos cheesy flavored. Oh my god! So yeah, they're ketchup. Yeah, because like ketchup flavor is like a thing in Canada. Occasionally we'll get like the potato chips, ketchup flavored potato chips down here in the U.S. So it's really weird that the United States has never really caught on. I mean, you know, obviously we think of it as like a condiment, but you know, but we do occasionally. We had the ketchup and mustard Doritos. I reviewed those. Go watch that video. So let's try some ketchup flavored Canadian Cheetos. I got this from a place called Exotic Snacks and Anime. As soon as I saw these, I was like, yeah, no, I need to try those. Okay, so here's the thing. I always like to mention this when it comes to chip stuff. Here's a chip bag, right? It's about the size of my head. But with the power of movie magic, we go over and flatten it out. That's how many actual chips are in there. That's less. I just personally find grievance with that. I'm not saying it has to be filled all the way to the top, but this is half the bag. Canada, I thought you were going to do better than the United States, but apparently you're in on it too. Alright, so it looks like this. It's kind of like a maple leaf. It also looks like a tiny dick. Let's just be honest. It looks a little bit like a tiny dick. A very tiny dick. Let's eat our tiny maple leaf dick. Ooh. That's good, tiny maple leaf dick. It might be tiny, but the flavor is mighty. No, that's seriously. By the way, I don't mean that to be offensive to the Canadian maple leaf stuff. You know, I know that's like your flag and everything, so. I mean, you can throw back at me. I don't really care too much. It's like, you know, patriotism and such and everything. I'm not for it or against it. I think it depends on how it's used. So, so they're like the puff kind. And probably the closest thing that here in America would be like the Cheetos Paws. You know, that they occasionally will use for stuff. I think they have like snowflakes and stuff, or like the Christmas, and they have like bones and stuff. So I guess it's kind of that where like they do the shapes. But obviously those aren't ketchup flavored. Really, two questions need to be asked. Is it ketchup flavored? And is it any good? I would say yes to both of those things. I think you can definitely identify, like it's not like, and here's the thing. I think when people in America are worried about ketchup flavored stuff, they think like, oh man, it's just going to be, like just chugging a whole fucking thing of ketchup. Like, no, obviously that's not it. It's got a hit, and you can definitely taste the tanginess of the ketchup, but it's also, it's fairly fleeting. Like, it hits you, it's got a good taste to it. Like I said, I do think I don't know if I would immediately go to ketchup if you didn't tell me, but if you told me, I would be like, oh yeah, shit, I can fully understand where that's coming from. Because I think even if you didn't tell me, I would maybe assume sort of like red sauce kind of flavor. Because it's got like a tomatoey aspect, and then it has kind of like a tanginess with maybe a little bit of sweetness. Maybe tiniest sweetness. But I wouldn't consider it a sweet snack. It's definitely still more, tomatoey and tangy. But, no, I mean, it works. There's a reason why this flavor is successful in Canada. Personally, I'm fully down for it. I think that we could make it work here. Just got to go over there and find some room on the shelves. I've reviewed enough things during the course of doing this show that could not be on shelves that I personally think we could bring over the ketchup flavored chips. I genuinely like the Doritos, man. After I did that review, I think on at least 3 separate occasions, I went out and I bought bag of mustard, bag of ketchup. You put them together, and that's how you really do it. But these are good. I really like these. So here's the thing. Do I like them more than normal Cheetos? No. Normal Cheetos are damn near perfect. They are just fucking wonderful. Do I like them more than some of the Cheetos variations? Yes. Not all, though. I mean, my personal favorite is probably the jalapeno cheddar. But, I did like that, what was it, the weird tangy friggin', is it like tangy barbecue or some shit? I forget, but it was one and I wasn't huge into it. These I definitely prefer to that. These would never be my favorite Cheetos, but I like because of the flavor that they are, I almost don't classify them as being a Cheeto. Because it's not like cheese and ketchup, it's really just sort of ketchup. Which again is cool. It's just, obviously it's unusual, here in the United States. But I do like them. And I do genuinely wish that we had these more readily available here, because they're fun. And every now... Okay, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Yes, and yes. I would definitely, I'm never going to become, the biggest, I'm never going to become the ketchup king, of just, the biggest fan of the ketchup flavor, chips and snacks. But I do like them. And like I said, like I was saying, I genuinely wish that they were more readily available here in the United States, because they are something that I would like to be able to occasionally pick up at a gas station or some shit. I think they're cool. Now, that said, they would be an occasional thing. Whereas traditional Cheetos, I could go for a bag of traditional Cheetos anytime. These would need to be more of kind of an occasional thing, because the tanginess is nice and everything, but I could see getting a little bit sick of it if I, was doing it more on the regular. Which, to be fair, you shouldn't be eating Cheetos on the regular anyway. Now, if I'm recommending it, that's where it gets a little bit dicier, because I like them, but I'm a crazy person. And I like certain things that people don't like. I like candy corn. I like black licorice. I like broccoli. I like sardines. And conversely, there are things that I don't like that a lot of people do. I'm not a big fan of onions. Yellow mustard is not a big thing for me. I can tolerate it, but I don't typically like it very much. So pickles, I'm very contentious with. So, my taste buds when it comes to a unique snack could be a little bit hard to pair up next to somebody. But here's what I would suggest. Try them. Genuinely, if you run into these, because like I said, occasionally Lay's will go over there and bring over their version of it, give them a go. I think you'd be surprised. Like, worst case scenario, you drop like $1.50. In this case, I think I had to pay like $4 because it's like technically an import item. Yeah. But it was what it was. I was paying for, at a premium shop for what it was. So, but I would say they're worth checking out. Because, like, if nothing else, they're just interesting. You can go over there and hand some out to your friends and see what they think. Maybe you'll love them so much you just decide, you know what, fuck it, man, we're just going straight to Canada. We're going to become Canadian citizens. We're going to go over there and love hockey and make maple syrup. Why am I going all weird? 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have yourselves a truly Canadian-tastic rest of your life. I mean, I've never been to Canada. I've certainly met people from Canada. And, I'm sure Canada's, like the United States, and that it has pros and cons and all that stuff and everything. But y'all folks up north, you're cool with me. I got no grief with you. Some people blame you for the cold weather. I fucking praise you guys for killing the summer. So, yeah, we're good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time because you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Especially when you're over there and you're at work and they decide that they're going to go over there and back you into a corner about some shit that they're already fully aware you're not on board with. I like the company I work for, but every now and again they decide to go over there and pull some bullshit, and I do not appreciate it. I really wish that they understood how much that erodes employee confidence, because I don't think they really get it. But it is what it is. And again, they're not a bad company or anything. Every company pulls this kind of shit. 37 years old, I'm kind of sick of this shit. But when we run into situations that are stressful, frustrating, it's important we go over there, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. And this is going to be a little bit of a rant. If you're working for a place and they're not treating you right, and I'm not saying that my company isn't. Again, they're a good company. But I always like to emphasize this, whether it's with friends or associates, what have you, stand up for yourself. It will not make you the most, I'm not going to say, it's going to go over there and make you the most popular person, but you do have a right to go over there and stick up for yourself. Something, isn't kosher with you, what have you. You're not always going to get your way. And like I said, it's not always going to make you the most popular person in the world. You have to pick and choose your battles, but don't just roll over. That is, I hate to say it, but that's what a lot of companies expect you to do. And I know for myself personally, I've had to go over there and confront, people in positions higher than myself because they went over there and they, tried to go over there and back me into a corner about something. And I had to go over their head and be like, hey, what's going on? And, again, it didn't make me very popular, but at the end of the day, I made my point, and, hopefully it makes them think twice a little bit sometimes. This is a weird thing to go off on, but it just, like I said, or conversely, I don't know, some wacky shit. Go to Canada and go over there and start up a Canadian basketball team. And, because I believe Canada beat the United States in, the recent championship thing. I don't fucking... Oh, the United States. That's one of those things. We should never lose a basketball game. Ever. We should never lose a basketball game. Bye.